I've been enjoying this format. Decks are narrow. I'll give them that. But they're a lot of fun. And there's a couple that I feel like I still haven't really fully explored, particularly bats. Not saying I want to force bats, but you don't force anything. I would be interested to have like a good rabbits deck too, although it does seem to be the best deck in the format. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's pretty contended. Also, I'm keeping an eye out for otters. The fact that it's the worst deck in the format makes it a little more likely that it's underdrafted. Looks like our decisions won't be that complicated, though. We opened a really strong card, Fecund Green Shell. This thing is nuts. 5 mana, 4/6 reach. You kind of want to look for other things that have toughness greater than their power, and there aren't that many of those. Like looking in this pack, there are 0 other creatures. Oh no, there's a Sunshower Druid. Maybe we can wheel that thing. People don't tend to want this card. But if you can build around this guy a little bit, maybe if you can get 10 lands in play, obviously that's great. But the really strong effect is just chaining creatures. It's sort of like a Great Henge effect where you play one, you draw another, you play it, you draw another, you just get to draw your whole deck. And when you're buffing all your creatures, that's obviously really strong. Oh, this is interesting. Season of Gathering. I haven't actually played this one. Usual 5 pause, put them on counter each creature, gains vigilance and trample. So it's an overrun. You can just choose that 5 times. Jeez. Blow up all the artifacts or enchantments. I mean, it's an overrun. It's not maybe as good as, well, honestly, these are all kind of fair. I mean, as far as the mythics go, the black one is pretty busted. Just that last mode getting to drain your opponent for their exact life total. That one can be rough. But Season of Gathering, let's give it a shot. Why not take a strong rare into a solid looking mythic? So you could just go 6 mana, put 5 counters. Oh, it's only on a creature you control. Okay, so that's a little more fair. Maybe even worse than overrun. Doesn't even incentivize going wide quite as much. Guess you could put a counter on 5 things and then get vigilance and trample. It's actually kind of off vector with the Fecund Green Shell. If this thing wants low power, high toughness creatures, I guess giving them vigilance is nice. Destroy all permanents of the chosen type. Interesting. Well, Stock in the Pantry has a very low win rate on 17 lands right now. That being said, it is kind of cool if you get to put all those counters on, then draw all those cards. This is probably at its best in green-black, where you have what's that hybrid common called? The squirrel that can forage each turn. Looking at the toughness greater than power thing, there's a Thought Shucker, there's a Harnesser of Storms. I mean, this is just a pretty strong card by itself. There's a Nocturne. We have a strong card to get back with the Nocturne. If we're looking at just, solid... Oh, hold on. There's a Nocturnal Hunger in here. Didn't even see this at first. This card's just a great removal spell. I think I would take it. If I was going to take a black card, I'd take it over the Nocturne. Uncharted Haven, I don't hate either. Maybe we'll see what happens with the Polywallop, the Stock in the Pantry. Maybe we'll wheel some of those. Wow, so red stuff is coming through. There's a Brazen Collector, and I did see that duo in the last pack. That card's pretty strong. Now, yeah, this doesn't go great with the Green Shell, but look, there's no other black cards in this pack outside of the Assailant and the Cutthroat. Assailant kind of works with the Green Shell, but that also points you towards the Threshold vector. If red is open, I think I'd rather be in the open lane, especially given how narrow the decks are in this set. You want to be in the open lane. And let's think about it. There's 10 color pairs. There's 8 people drafting. There's gonna be a lane for you. You're gonna have something to do. There is an optimal deck to be in. And I'm feeling like it might be red. I don't want to get too tied to these first couple picks, but some mediocre red cards here, but that's a Banishing Light pick 5. I don't really turn that kind of thing down. Bit of a waffle draft here, but I'm okay with it. I mean, just taking solid, if we wind up in one of these colors, we would definitely play this card. It's not like I'm taking a mediocre blue card that would get cut if we were end up in blue anyway. Looks like Gruul is back on the menu. The Bruiser actually works with the Green Shell. That's kind of funny. Does that make me want it more than something like the Duo, which this is just a really strong card by itself? I think I'll take the Duo. A Bruiser I can probably pick up later. I'm not wheeling anything out of this pack, but I don't like the recruiter that much. It's strong for sure, but Scales of Shale has actually overperformed for me. Yeah, I think I want to take the duo here. Go into some kind of raccoons thing. Again, it is off vector with the green shell, but you're playing the green shell no matter what. Bodyguard's a solid value card. Another Scales. Rally. I do not like this card at all. I know it's a raccoon. It gives stuff haste, but it targets if you have a Valiant trigger. Druid of the Spade we're pretty far away from. We're not really making tokens right now. Bushy Bodyguard's just a good value. You could end up cutting it, but if you wind up with some ways to make food, maybe like a Baker's Bane duo or something like that. This is just 2 bodies for 4 mana. It's still good. Helps you go wide a little bit. Offset against the busted Rabbits decks when you come across those, because they're out there. Not really stoked about anything I'm seeing here. Sky Skipper Duo, Nettle Guard. Yeah, I'll take a high stride. Soothsayer. Not really stoked on any of this either. Bear Down is not good. Paw Patch Formation is just a lot better than this. It cycles itself instead of having the gift option. I'll just take like a Bell, whatever. Scribe. I don't love the duo. This stuff is really off vector for us. I guess I'll take a Scribe here. Looking red, green-ish, but if we were to open like a, I don't know, Warren Warleader or something, I'd probably just slam it. Let's take an Uncharted Haven. Hedge our bets a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to be playing green, given that we have 2 big green bombs. But the Mind Drill Assailant did come back. Maybe we move into green-black. Let's see what we open. Starfall Invocation. Good card, but not really where we're at. This is the Banishing Light. There's a Lily Splash Mentor. There's a Burrow Guard Mentor. Also a Cash Grab, a Longstalk Brawl. Solid pack for sure. Daggerfang Duo. Kind of at an impasse here. We don't really want to be blue-green frogs, but we could hedge in that direction. We could also just take something like Cash Grab or Longstalk Brawl, which I think I might go with the Brawl here. I could see taking either of these 2. I could even see taking the Warlock. I think I'm just going to grab the solid removal spell out of this pack. It's a shame that there's a lot of strong stuff in here, but I think we do need to be green here. We didn't wheel that other stock in the pantry, interestingly. Someone else out there is stocking. I love Brightblade Stoat. One of my pet cards in the set for sure, but not really what we want here. We could look to move into green-black. I think this might be best for our vector. We can get some other stuff with toughness greater than power. We have the Bushy Bodyguard. We have a Hunger. In which case, I think I like the Saver here. I don't like Starscape Cleric for that. Stock in the Pantry would be good in green-black, but we're still trying to iron out the bones of our deck here. Let's just pick up a solid removal spell and Saver. Interesting, a Caretaker's Talent. And another Intrepid Rabbit. We saw one of those last pick, too. I do think that's a really strong card. Don't want to waffle too much longer here. There's a Dire Sight, a Polywallop. This card is strong if you're picking up a bunch of like carrot cakes and that sort of thing, but that's pretty far from where we are. We could wind up in some sort of Obzon shell, but I do not like being 3-color here. But like, what are we taking? Polywallop? This might be a bad pick, but I'm going to hedge on the talent. Nah, let's take the Rabbit. Let's take the Rabbit and just grab a white card, because why not? Oh, 3-True Rootweaver. This looks like the sort of thing our deck is going to want. Taps for any mana, toughness greater than power. We have some big expensive stuff to ramp into. Let's grab that guy. Sticky Tongue Sentinel. What does this do? It could pick up something like the Rootweaver or the Assailant to re-trigger the green shell. I do think we want to be green. Tough draft. There's also Repel Calamity, but this just misses really often. It being a cheap removal spell is fine, but sometimes it's not really there when you need it. You know, if you're getting beaten down by a bunch of mice, for example. And I think the Sentinel here. There's a Junk Blade Bruiser, which we could still manage to play even if we don't wind up in green-red. It isn't just a big green guy that triggers the green shell. Let's grab this guy. Maybe wind up in Jund. Ooh. I don't mind Jund. Glide Dive Duo is a strong card on its own. There's also the Sun Shower Druid. There's also Hidden Grotto for moving into multicolor. The Duo is just a really strong card by itself, though. I just like the value of the Duo. Late Hazarded Herbalist. Good with tokens, which we do not really have. I could take a Whirl. This is best of 3, and there's definitely some matchups where you're happy to have Psychic Whirl. We have that Thorn Plate Intimidator hanging out in the sideboard if we want it. Cash Grab Wield. That's interesting. There's also a Daggerfang Duo. It feels like maybe green-black is the vector for us. Short pot, I'll take a shove. This stuff is whatever. We're definitely not really playing blue, but the question is, do we get there on the Mind Drill Assailant? Maybe not. Maybe black ends up getting cut. But I don't mind that black as our couple removal spells. I could see cutting black or red from this point. But we have a Bell, we have an Uncharted Haven. I don't like playing 3 colors in this format, but maybe we move into Jund or something. I'd like it to be a light splash, you know, splashing for maybe like 5 sources and then like 2 spells, something like that. Probably don't want any of this, but I guess I'll take a Dire Sight. Let's sort out our removal here. Got the Hunger. We've got some spells. What is Season of Gathering? That doesn't really count as a removal spell. It's like a creature, player removal spell. Take a Shooter and another Whirl. Ooh, and a Byway Barter. I do really like this card. This card is nice. You just get to expend 4 and then pitch your hand, draw 2 cards. This is best when you can empty your hand. So maybe double spelling, curving out. We have the Brazen Collector, the Scribe, the Duo. These cards are strong and worth playing. White isn't looking great, so like Banishing Light, but I don't think it's for us. Let's take the Barterer here. Clement. But there's also a Brambleguard Veteran. Also a Longstock Brawl and another Roughshod Duo. Right now, we don't have that much removal, but we do have 4 Raccoons, and the Brambleguard Veteran's really strong. Could take another Longstock Brawl, though. So we've got that. Not a lot of other removal. That guy over there. High Stride is a spell. I do like Paw Patch Formation too. I think I'm going to take the Veteran here and hope that we can get back like the Duo or the Brawl or something like that. Veteran's just a really above-rate creature. Oh, there we go. All right. So the 2 people to our right likely were not in green. The Valley Might Caller is just a massive bomb in any good green deck. I mean, look, everything triggers it. We got a bunch of raccoons and mice and such, and a lot of raccoons, actually. We're getting there on raccoons. Valley Might Caller followed by a solid 2-drop is where I want to be. Ooh, like Baker's Bane Duo here. Clifftop Lookout, even Flowerfoot Swordmaster, Treeguard Duo, all strong cards, but I like following up the Valley Might Caller with a solid 2-drop like the Baker's Bane. Also gives us a food to help maybe get this bushy Bodyguard going. Bodyguard, I think we play no matter what, just because it's strong. Hope to wield the Treeguard Duo, a deceptively powerful card. Hivespine Wolverine. Okay, we're starting to get some of these green payoffs. Rewarded for sticking to our green guns here. Not seeing that much else that can trigger the green shell, but we will, you know, we'll use that as sort of like the razor at the end to slice off the cards that have either equal power and toughness or power greater than toughness. Wolverine, unfortunately, is one of those, but we'll take it. Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Pick 6, Cash Grab, Hunter's Talent, Brambleguard Veteran, Keen-Eyed Curator. I think we have to take the talent, but I mean, wow, this card is really excellent too. There's another raccoon, though. It goes really well with a lot of this stuff, but the Hunter's Talent is just super messed up, and we need more removal, especially given that we're probably going to be splashing our removal because it's black. We could use something that's actually on color. Take out the trash. What a gift. We will take that gladly. Looks like I was right. Golgari was sort of open. Vine Root Mentor coming around pick 7. This is a slam for any Squirrels deck, but sometimes the Squirrels, I guess you could really say this about any deck. Sometimes the stuff just doesn't get opened. I don't know why people play this card. I'll take a Flame Cash Gecko. Cash Money Gecko. I like this little guy. Not at its best in our deck, but we can sort of do the turn 2, turn 3, play the 2-drop, turn 3, attack with it, get in, Cash Gecko into another 3-drop. That's pretty strong just to get ahead. Take another Uncharted Haven. Looks like we are going to be splashing black. Probably not white. Intrepid Rabbit's nice, but... Oh, wow, we wield a Longstalk Brawl. Perfect. Perfect. Don't want War Squeak. Good see Short Bow getting sided in. Maybe even main decked. We don't really want either of these. Last pick, Corpseberry Cultivator, huh? So Squirrels, no one was interested in because that's just a slam in the Squirrels deck. Are we interested in it? Let's take a look at the deck here. Let's start sorting. So the green shell is definitely something we want to build towards. Same with the Season of Gathering. This sort of wants us to be chipping in for damage. It's an interesting vector. It's sort of right down the middle. We don't want to be trading creatures off, as a defensive deck would do. We want to be chipping in for damage, though, such that the Season of Gathering, we could just use this to functionally overrun everything they have. Let's, if we're splashing black, I don't think we can play the Mind Drill Assailant. Looking at 17-12 on the creature to non-creature. Probably cutting a handful of both. Fountain Port Bell, it smooths you out, I guess. Don't love it. Short Bow, it doesn't really combo. I guess we have that one Whisker Quill Scribe, but that's probably one of the cuts anyway. We have a lot of 2-drops. Corpseberry Cultivator, I'm also looking at pretty suspiciously, but if we are splashing black, then it's not that hard to cast. Question is, are we making foods? We have a Cash Grab, we have a Baker's Bane Duo, we have a Bushy Bodyguard. It's not the worst card. Maybe it's better than something like Furled Spark Shooter. Like, is this actually doing anything for us? Not really, right? Sort of like a classic Jund deck here. Now we have 15 creatures. I don't really want to go below that. Let's take a look at our non-creature spells. So sorting some of these out here. I like sorting the removal and then just other non-creature spells. Dire Sight actually seems like a pretty easy cut here. Not really something we want to splash for. Having that stuck in hand and no lands to cast it really gets you nowhere. Let's see, we've got our double Longstalk Brawl, Nocturnal Hunger. These, I think, are worth playing. The Glide Dive Duo. A strong top end. Works pretty well with the Season. Don't really have any recursion. It's pretty good when you can loop it somehow and get a bunch of those drain triggers. We do have the 3-tree Root Weaver that's going to help us cast these black spells as well. Take up the trash. We got a good kill spell there. Cash Grab is going to help us. Hunter's Talent, kill spell. We could cut the black removal spells in the Glide Dive, leaving us with 9-14. I don't love that with a bunch of fight spells, having only 14 creatures. I have a little more than that. Let's see how we're doing on the Fecund Green Shell. That's a reason to have the Corpseberry Cultivator in. 1, 2, 3. 4 creatures that trigger the green shell. Not great, to be honest. Not great. But this card is just strong as is. Even if it didn't have that text about the whole toughness greater than power, sometimes you just get to 10 lands and then this thing buffs everyone. I think we need to cut some non-creature spells here. I think the Short Bow and the Bell are the two obvious initial considerations. High Stride, what's this really doing for us? Not a lot. Nice is a double spell combat trick in the early game, but we have Longstalk Brawl to just kill things. I'd rather just kill something, Looking at our mana, this looks pretty good. I have my tracker on here. We have 9 green sources and then 6 red, 6 black. We do sort of want red a little earlier. I think I'm going to go up a mountain and down a swamp. 5 black sources seems fine for 3 spells. 6 if you count the Root Weaver. This is a deck. Let's give it a shot. Jam some best of 3 here. I like best of 3 a lot better than best of 1 these days. I play a lot of RCQs. Playing best of 3 helps you, I guess, actually practice instead of grinding for rank. Grinding for rank is fine, and playing best of 1, there's definitely something to be gained from, best of 1 gaming. But I do miss the hand smoother sometimes. That's a mulligan. That's a keep. And I think we can pitch a mountain pretty safely, given that we have all 2 and 1 drops in our hand and a ramp spell. Kind of funny here. We don't really get to maximize the Flame Cache Gecko. We're going to want to kill that guy at some point. I think here we do just slam the Root Weaver. Next turn we can double spell Baker's Bane plus take out the trash, or Baker's Bane plus Flame Cache. That card's whatever. Probably going to take out the trash it. Ooh, Green Shell. All right. That makes us reconsider our sequencing a little bit here. We don't have anything with power lower than toughness, so it doesn't really matter what we do for now. Just going to slam these guys. Nothing we really want to pitch with the Gecko. Actually, we want to draw our 5th land to get the Green Shell in play. If we draw a non-land next turn, good card. That thing's going to get jumped. Yikes. Okay. That's interesting. I think we just don't kick this. Very interesting. If they go for Lily Splash on the Pond Prophet, I would kind of just want to take out the trash. But at the same time, is missing a land drop here and just running this out? This is probably worth it to kick. It's a little mana inefficient if they do something funny with take out the trash, not being up anymore. But missing out on that Offspring, that would feel pretty bad. We are going to put the counters on the baby. I'd rather have a 2-1 and a 3-3 than a 4-3 and a 1-1. Did I say that right? Yeah. I'd rather distribute my power a little further out. So that if they kill one thing, I'm not left with a 1-1, I'm left with a 2-1. And I trade off the extra power here. It's fine. Treeguard, that's a pretty gross thing to flicker. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Saver. Interesting. Let's see if I can bait them into something here. I don't expect this to work. Hey, it worked. We'll take it. They could have had a Overprotect or something. Oh, no, they only had the 1 mana up. They could have had that spell that I cut. Now, take up the trash. Now I think we leave that up. We really want to get this Green Shell in play so we can brawl down the Lily Splash Mentor. The Bellowing Crier. We need to kill that Mentor pretty quickly here. I think I do like just bolting the Warden, slamming the Green Shell. Hopefully next turn. We got to get a land off the top at some point. Tracker says we're 48% chance to draw land. This is the untapped .gg tracker, by the way. I've used this for a while. It's pretty great. Ooh. I mean, if we kill their Pond Prophet, they can just start flickering the Bellowing Crier. And yeah, that's a lot worse, but it still filters. Like, they don't need lands anyway right now. Rough, but I think we have to let this happen. And I think it'd be pretty instinctive to just bolt that thing in response, but I don't really want to die to the Waterspout Warden. Question is, do we bury the Longstalk Brawl? I think no. Because if we draw a land next turn, we slam the Green Shell. If we draw a non-land, as I was going to say, it's pretty likely that it's something we could actually use Longstalk Brawl on or in conjunction with. So if we sequence this properly, Baker's Bane Duo, we'll have Roughshod Duo make Baker's Bane into a 4-4. We Longstalk Brawl, put the counter on the Duo. It can eat the Mentor. We do have to give him a fish in this exchange, but it's going to work out fine. 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Yep, we'll have a 5-5. Buff this guy up to a 5-5. Eat the Mentor. There's an argument for attacking with the Duo here. I don't think I like it, though. There's also an argument for attacking with some of these little guys. I do think I like that. We're okay trading off the Flame Cash Gecko, not the Roughshod Duo. Like this, I don't actually really care about that trade. The Blue-Green Frogs deck relies on pieces. And the less pieces they have in play, the better. See, like, we want to get that Pawn Profit dead at some point, too. These frogs, they just bounce themselves, flicker themselves, draw cards. It's a dirtily effect. This is pretty cool. So they get to play the Druid and then chain it with the Pawn Profit, pick up the Druid again. This thing only costs 1. It's a great combo with Clement. I guess they were debating whether to bounce their fish token with the Sunshower Druid. I would probably not do that myself, but if you're so inclined, it is a game action that you can take. Yep, bounce the Sunshower Druid. Cool plays. Oh, no, not that. That's not what we want. Oh, man. What a bummer of a turn. We could rummage with the Gecko and hope to hit something like Brazen Collector, Cash Grab, Hunter's Talent. Of course, if we hit a 5-drop, then it's like, well, we would have rather had the land in play. Yeesh. How are we winning this game from here? It's going to involve somehow breaking up this combo or going bigger or wider. I think we do need the land in play for that to happen. Shame, but they get to do their frog thing for a little bit. Clement's good. We want to get rid of that. We have some kill spells left that can do it. We have the Nocturnal Hunger. We have the Hunter's Talent if we can get something big enough in play. Glide Dive Duo would be pretty good here. Start draining, chipping in. Just going bigger like Junkblade Bruiser would be solid too. So now any creature they play will get to pick up at least the Sunshower Druid and the Pawn Prophet, probably. Oh, yeah. This is pretty sick. They're doing the frog thing really hard here. Oh, float the mana. No! So Clement lets you tap for green or blue to float mana to cast a creature spell. I would probably have floated the Pawn Prophet mana. I'd then have 2 mana up here in case they draw the counter spell or something like that. Clement has Vigilance and can do that. Now, if they were to attack with the Clement here, I would just put a bunch of things in front of it. This thing has to die. Or else they do functionally just get to draw their whole deck and put a million counters on things. Polywallop. Guess they'd rather have them kill the Baker's Bane Duo than the Green Shell, right? All right. Let's get a good Green Shell turn in here. Do I want to crack the food? Do I have any reason not to? I don't think so. Let's just gain some life. We're at 10. They're not attacking. That's the thing about frogs. It's going to take them a while, but they're going to accumulate insurmountable card advantage. Byway Barterer. I like that. That is just the kind of card we want to see here. It doesn't really matter what we do here. Not attacking this turn. Cash Grab. Next turn, we can go Barterer into Cash Grab. All right. Let's set up for the long game here. They want to grind. We can grind a little bit too. So right now we're set up to do Barterer, and then casting the Cash Grab will expend 4. So I guess we hope to hit a land for play next turn. We're 52% to draw one, so it's pretty likely. And the Warden does get blanked by the Green Shell. That thing can attack in the air. If they have a way to kill the Green Shell, that would be bad for us. Hope they don't. Peerless Recycling. Getting back Tree Guard and Lily Splash. Oh, they're going to make us chump with the Waterspout Warden. Interesting. No. Oh, no, wait. Yes, they're picking up the Pawn Prophet. Tree Guard Duo is going to pump the Warden. They want us to chump block this thing. I really don't want to do that. I'm just going to take 10, probably. Take 10, whatever. We do need to worry about the Lily Splash, flickering the Tree Guard Duo to once again pump the Waterspout Warden. That would be pretty bad for us. Yeah, this is exactly what Frogs wants to do. I mean, look how many lands they have in play. We've also missed so many land drops. They're working with like 12 mana or something from tapping all these frogs too. They get to pick up the Sun Shower Druid. Yeah, this is what Clement does. This is what Clement does. Well, we'll need to remember to save a kill spell for this guy. Oh, Nocturnal Hunger. So we don't just die. That's something. None of these trigger the green shell, by the way. Okay. Here's how we'll do it. We need mana. That's what we're currently gated on. We do have our Hunter's Talent. That's interesting. Oh, man. Missing a land drop here would be so bad. But the Hunter's Talent does delay the problem even further. Makes them just keep grinding stuff out. And if they don't have any more regrowths, could just nuke the Warden. The Warden's still being blocked by the green shell. It's the Tree Guard duo that's really causing the issue. It's a bit of a greedy play here, but I think I'm going to take the talent. It's tight. It's tight. But yeah. Take the talent. Buff up, I guess, the green shell. Man, I'd love to kill the Clement here, but if they just Lily Splash, flicker the Tree Guard on the Warden, yeah, the game just kind of ends. And I don't really want to have to start chumping, so I think we kill the Tree Guard and hope that the Warden can just get blanked by the green shell. All right, take out the Tree Guard. Hopefully they only had one copy of like a regrowth effect in their deck. Was that too greedy? Should I have taken the land and just cast Nocturnal Hunger? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, I see. They're going to use the Sun Shower Druid to pump the Warden. They Lily Splash, flicker the Sun Shower, counter on the Warden. It gets killed by the Sun. Rather, the Warden will now be able to attack through the green shell. It's a slow engine, but man, it's good. I don't really feel like playing this one out. Clement is just getting too much value. They get to attack with the Warden. I see how this works. Now, if they're trying to kill me with a Water Spout Warden pump to 1,000,000, am I interested in a short bow? How many ways of dealing with a flyer do I have? Not that many, right? Is short bow better than something like... I mean, what? What do you cut for that? No, we have a Sticky Tongue. I think we just run it back. There's also that 4-mana 3/3 Reach Menace that gets a counter if you dealt damage. The Lizard. Pearl Spine? Something's Spine? I don't know. I don't love that card either. This is going to be a much better game. I think we may just get a free win off the Valley Might Caller here. Now the question is, do we cash grab on turn 2? If we don't draw a land, we might. Nope, we got the lands. Gonna curve him out. This is how Valley Might Caller works. There was an argument to playing the cash grab and waiting for the Bushy Bodyguard on turn 4. But I want this guy to just be able to attack for the next like 4 turns unimpeded. And that is looking like what's going to happen. Yeah, that's nice. We'll need to pick up a second green source, probably off the cash grab. Could bounce the Bodyguard. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, rather than just trade it off. Pick up the Bodyguard. Next turn I could cash grab and then Bodyguard. That is interesting. I might not get a food off of it, but I'd get to... Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. So ideally we want to go cash grab into a forest, play the Bodyguard, exile 3 cards in the graveyard. And then hopefully curve into these bombs. They got their own Sentinel. That's whatever. If I draw a land here... Ooh, this is interesting. Do I just... No, actually, I guess I was concerned about them double blocking. You could, I guess you could kick this, get them both, have this attack as a 5/5 trample. I was worried if I just play one of these, that then they could double block the 4s. I kind of do still want the lands. I do want to feed this guy. Do we have any double red cards in this deck? No. No, we don't. So it doesn't really matter what we take from here. I guess just a forest is fine. We're gonna season them out of this game. Take the Bodyguard. Exile a bunch of lands from the graveyard. Brazen Collector can hang out in there. Slam. Again, we don't care if they trade off here, the Sticky Tongue for the Sticky Tongue. Frogs work on accumulating a massive board of nonsense, as you saw in that last game, right? That was definitely a good showing by that deck. So here, they will not have any good blocks for the rest of the game. We just get to put a counter on the Bushy Bodyguard. You are welcome to chump, opponent. They did not chump. Opponent's no chump. That's good to know. Next turn, we get to... I mean, we could draw cards or we could just win the game. I think I'll just win the game. Oh, leaving up mana, huh? I will... Yeah, that'll do it. Interesting. So we can definitely beat this this frog pile. That was obviously a great draw from the Valley Might Caller. Let's just send it back. This webcam aim proper. There we go. Corey McMichael. Good game so far. Huh. Interesting hand. A single forest and the whole hand turns on thanks to the 3 tree. We have a kill spell and a great card in hand with a great card to follow it up. It's close. It's close. We're on the draw. If we were to draw the forest, this hand becomes really strong. For that reason, I'm going to keep it. Oh. I get punished for hands like that, you know, a good amount of the time, as do all Magic players. Sometimes the coin comes up the side you called, you know. Sometimes it comes up heads. And look, now we just get a great curve. A rough shot duo too. Very nice. But this hand, we're gonna try to maximize the green shell like we didn't get to before. Having the Corpseberry Cultivator here, nice. Oh, that thing, I am taking that thing out ASAP. Not picking up the Crier, interesting. Oh, in the season, this is looking great. I do think I want to kill the Clement ASAP. They do have a way to get it back. If they want to take their time to regrowth stuff, I don't really care. Haven't seen a shore up or anything. I think I'm just going to do it now, though. Do I play out the Bushy Bodyguard here? No, I think we can wait. We do need a land. We do need a land off the top. It's pretty likely to happen. All right, land off the top. And they missed the land drop. I'm feeling good about this one. Green shell, slam. Next turn. Oh, yeah. I'll take a land. Next turn, Cultivator and Duo, slam. Well, let's correct that. Duo first, then Cultivator, maybe even attack with the green shell. And then we're setting up for a Season of Gathering that should just overrun, crush them here. We don't care about that. We're not blocking that thing ever. This thing does get in for scary chunks of damage, but I don't really care about that right now. Cultivator. We're leaving the green shell back, I think, so it doesn't matter that I'm not going to get my Duo trigger. We are at 7 lands. Getting awfully close to a green shell overrun. And we have the Season of Gathering overrun. This could be one where we draw cards, actually. Draw 3, buff 2 things, give him trample, pump with the Duo, slam with the Cultivator or something. The green shell, like if they trade their whole board for the green shell, like, all right. Oh, Longstalk Brawl. This is looking great. Man, what do we do first? So many options. I think I want a Season. I think I want a Season here. I think I want to draw cards and buff 2 things. We can buff the green shell. If they have a bounce spell here, it's pretty bad, but doesn't look like they do. Buff the green shell and the rough shot? Corpseberry. Yeah, Corpseberry. Draw a million cards. Delicious. Oh, we can Might Caller double Longstalk Brawl here? Yeah, that seems fine to me. Now, what do we actually fight? I think we can just use the green shell as a big fighting engine here. Have this thing take out... I mean, if they have a bounce spell, they would have used it, right? If they have some kind of kill spell. We have seen Poliwallop represented, so... I guess we should play with that in mind. Let's, in case they have a Poliwallop, we'll bait it out by using the Corpseberry Cultivator first on the Waterspout Warden. This should bait out their Poliwallop, if they have it. It did not. That's good. It feels like they have something up. I'm a little suspicious. Honestly, maybe we just stop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They would need 2 points of power to come out of nowhere to be able to kill my green shell. I don't think we need to get greedy. I think they have something. I think they're holding up some sort of something here. We will forage. Get a counter on the Corpseberry. I think we can just pass. I'm very suspicious that they have something. Oh, they had a Valley Flood Caller. I don't actually hate just brawling that thing down either. This can get scary. It will buff all their... well, that's actually a much better target. I don't want them flickering the Tree Guard Duo, the Pawn Prophet, any of that nonsense. We don't have any food stuff. I think we just brawl again. We can do the Corpseberry to the Mentor, keeping our green shell a little safer. Just in case. Alright, they had nothing. No flickering Pawn Prophet for you, opponent. Just a little too good. Play a tap land. Too bad these guys don't have greater toughness than power. They do buff the Might Caller. We're not foraging anytime soon, so I'm just going to run this out. Double Offspring. I don't think we're attacking still, but I could send with the Might Caller. Casual 5/5 trample coming in. They block with the Duo and the Flood Caller. Trade with the Duo. Doesn't seem great. Plus, next turn, my board gets huge. Looks like they've got a land in hand. Oh. This is why we put the Bruiser in the deck, right? This exact purpose. All right. I think we can buff the Duo because it's about to get big. We have massive card and board advantage here. Like, what don't we attack with? Yeah. Nice. That's what the Fecund Green Shell can do. And having the Bruiser as the top end there worked out well. Let's run it back. Now, as a reminder, we did lose game 1. Sometimes it's easy to get demotivated when you lose game 1 of a 3-game match. Just got to keep it cool, keep going. Sometimes I find that if you lose match 1 of best of 3, that feels pretty bad, because then you're locked into getting not great prizes, but it's what it is. All right, another fine hand here. I'm really liking this Root Weave in our deck. The Uncharted Haven, I think we have to play red. Oh, now we're definitely playing red. Next turn, Forest Root Weaver. We have the Barterer, the Bramble Guard. Just a lot of good cards in our hand right now. Bunnies missing a 2-drop. Fine by me. Next turn. Probably the Bramble Guard Veteran. Turn after we can... Oh, actually, though, we want to save that to play after the Green Shell. We want to get as many triggers off this guy as we can. Caretaker's Talent. Very strong. Wow. Our good cards have not been shy, I'll say that. I think we can just play the Barterer here and attack. A little bit of a weird sequence, but we need a land next turn. If we do, we slam the Green Shell. And then the turn after, we go like Veteran Duo or something. We are absolutely not discarding our hand. Under no circumstances. Wow, this looks like it's got the pieces of a good Bunnies deck, but... Oh, wow. We're gonna... It's better to be lucky than good sometimes. You know, you could be both, but We are getting very lucky. We're going to decline discarding our hand because we have only bombs. It's got to land off the top. Nice. And honestly, slam. 3/3 Menace for 3. Good card. Now, they could be very much back into it with a card like Carrot Cake or Head of the Homestead right here. This card, I played 2 of them in my pre-release deck for this format. Very strong. Especially when you can get that third ability online. I attacked for like 40 damage in one of my games. But we are quickly taking over here. Let's start with the Veteran. Nice. 2 mana up. Could Hunger, or we could Duo. Kind of like just roughshod duoing here. And then, honestly, next turn, we might just cast Season of Gathering and try to win. Still declining that hand discard. Nope, not attacking with those. Don't want to trade off the Byway Barter. If we do somehow wind up with an empty hand and nothing to do, this card just goes nuts. It's not hard for the 2 cards you draw, plus 1 for your turn to get you that expend. What's happening over here? I feel a little bad, but, like, I don't know. What could they have? Like a Sonar Strike or something? Or a Polywallop that's just not looking very good right now? I don't know. I think we're so far ahead we can play it a little safe. Baker's Bane. I'm going to get a little creative here. I'm going to try to blow out some of their blocks. We have the ability to turn on Expend at instant speed thanks to Nocturnal Hunger, which will buff all of our raccoons and give them Vigilance. Not that that matters because we already attacked. Okay, this is sort of what I wanted to happen. I'll give him pay 2 life. Now we attempt to kill the Harvest Red Host. Even if this goes poorly, I still think this works out pretty well. Now let's say they have a pump spell or something. I think we just let the Byway Barterer die. Let's pump the Veteran. Like, the worst thing that could happen here is they trade 1 card for our Barterer and our Nocturnal Hunger. I don't see a way that could... Oh, they could have Crumb and Get It. Nope, not discarding my bombs. Yeah, they could have a Crumb and Get It here, in which case I still get to eat their Druid. They had the Crumb and Get It, so I do just get to eat their Druid unless they have something else. Okay, I got to eat their Druid and almost basically just kill them, so they're almost dead to the Glide Dive Duo's trigger, actually. Maybe I just don't... All right. Sometimes you don't have to show them your bombs, right? Sometimes you can just build out without them. So what do we see here? A Crumb and Get It, and some solid bunnies, and a bit of an awkward hand. Don't think there's anything I'm interested in from the sideboard. Playful Shove can do some work against some of the bunny cards, but they had some of the beefier 3 toughness ones. We didn't see a lot of token makers. If they're trying to copy tokens, then... I mean, you do want to be able to snipe that token out from under them. Let's see if the Bunnies deck gets off to a better start. We have had some nuts hands in this draft so far. This might be the worst hand we've seen so far, and I think it's actually still a keep. Cash Grab, Corpseberry, these set up each other nicely. We have plenty of mana. We'll be able to cast all our spells. All right, so they do have the enablers. They have the Carrot Cake. This card's excellent. Ooh, and our Valley Mistcaller. I think we're going to Cash Grab this turn and then Corpseberry, then Barterer. Well, Corpseberry, then Mightcaller, Barterer. That seems like a fine curve, right? Corpseberry is going to get the trigger 2 turns in a row here, at least, off the Cash Grab. Maybe we even pick up a squirrel off of it. No turn 3 play. That's where some of the scary bunny stuff happens. So I'm... Oh. Get back here, buddy. You're not going to the grave that quickly. Yeah, we can just pitch stuff off the Corpse Berry here. Next turn, maybe we don't play the Barter quite yet. Send all that stuff out of here. We do want to start growing this Mite Caller. Cracking the Carrot Cake? If that's their turn 3 play, I am overjoyed. This is one of the weaknesses of Carrot Cake. I think it is a great turn 2 play. It doesn't necessarily scale great into the late game. If you have stuff that triggers off of bunnies entering, or they have that rare, the talent. Wow. They didn't trigger the Carrot Cake. Beza. That's interesting. That's a good card. Still not super worried, though. I mean, why didn't they crack the Carrot Cake? Would have scryed them, gain them life. Doesn't downside to have that. I don't know. Let's just play out the duo. We're going to go green shell next turn. Almost definitely. Hope to just build up a beefy board of... Look, we're Junding them out. This is what Jund can do. Good cards. Best in slots, all I've got. Now, the Barterer, we do want to find a way to pitch with this. It's looking like the sort of game where we might play the green shell, then Barterer, 2-drop, discard a couple lands, draw some cards. Now, if they attack with the Beza, what do we do? We know they have a Crumb and Get It. Ooh. That's pretty good. Now I think we just take it. Intrepid Rabbit's a very strong card. Liking this guy a lot. They have to attack, right? Yeah. We just take that. Unfortunate. Big chunk of damage, but that's what Intrepid Rabbit does. This thing's great for pushing damage through. Yeah. Definitely slamming the green shell still. But now, we're really going to need... Oh, perfect follow-up. Yeah. So now we're going to get to go something like Barterer, then Hunter's Talent, shoot. I mean, we can't hit the Beza off the Fecund green shell, but we can do something. Oh, actually, we could Roughshod Duo to pump the green shell, then have that... Ew, well, that much mana up, I no longer like this play. Okay. Forget what I said. Let's just Bruiser. I like to do this while they're tapped out. I don't... Look, I'm not in the business of getting blown out by removal spells and combat tricks and whatever else. And for a fight spell like that, you know, so many things can go wrong. I want them to be tapped out for this play to happen. Well, that's good. Actually, maybe don't need the Barterer plan quite yet, you know? We are building up quite the beefy board here. Next turn, we could even attack with the Bruiser. Start slamming with a colossal Dread Raccoon. All right, maybe they're just out of action. Let's try to do some bait here. Let's see if we can get some bait going. I'm going to start by Hunter's Talenting the Bruiser to the Rabbit. I do have enough mana. But I could draw something good off to take out the trash. I was going to say, I do have enough mana to do a kind of funny trick. I can cast the takeout. I could go Byway Barterer, cast the Hunter's Talent, with the trigger from Barterer on the stack, cast Take Out the Trash, and pitch a card. But what if I draw something good off that I want to cast, you know? Let's start by just take out the trash on the Rabbit. Just an innocent little kill spell. Let's just see what happens. Okay. That worked. Don't really know what to do now. Guess I could Hunter's Talent the Bruiser? I mean, they let that thing die. Let's just beef up the Bruiser and see what happens. If they had a Crumb and Get It, they would save the Rabbit, right? I think. Let's just see what happens. Just an innocent little removal spell. Okay. Feeling good about this. Pump. Forage. So long, Wolverine. I like that card, but I mean, what could they have? Like a rabbit response or something? Let's see what you got, opponent. If they have crack, carrot cake, cast, rabbit response, is that even that bad? Is this like going to be a sequence of combat? They must have the board wipe. That's the only explanation for this sort of play. They're holding cards in hand. They have the mass Starfall Invocation, Starlight Invocation, whatever that thing's called. Starfall Invocation. That's good, for sure. They didn't have any creatures to get back. Kind of wish I had something else right now for the Byway Barterer. Now I'm actually going to wait and not play the Barterer. Because I want the next spell that I cast. What if I top deck a 3-drop, right? I want the next spell that I cast to be able to trigger the Barterer's triggers. So just going to level this thing up and pass. That was good. I should have seen that a turn earlier. I don't know why I didn't suspect that. I wonder if that's why they didn't crack the carrot cake. Maybe they drew this and they were just sort of biding their time. I almost wish I had full swung. Got them a little lower. Typically, though, you want to cast this after having a bunch of good stuff in hand. And then you can just deploy a whole board of junk. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we could definitely lose from here. Good to know about that Starfall Invocation. That'll make it much easier to detect in the future. We were so close to the green shell, too. Perfect. So we, well, land first. Let's cast this stuff properly. Not super likely we'd draw another 5-drop that we want to play. We have 9 mana. Yes, we can tap like this. Get the Barterer. They have Carrot Cake activation up. I do need to expend here, though. I want to give him a food. I think I win this game now through card advantage, so I think I am going to give him a food, maintain my life total. Nuke the Harvest Right Host. Discard my... And if they have a Crumb and Get It here, like, you know, they got it. Ugh, that's not good. Not exactly what you want to see off the top of your library at this point in the game. 15 cards left in library, 20% to draw land. A lot of solid stuff left. The Season of Gathering, the Glide Dive, the Sticky Tongue, the Bramble Guard. We need to find a way to actually kill them from here. Brawl, Saver. Jund cards. Tree Guard, yeah. This is why we saved our life total, right? This is going to be a card advantage battle. And a way to trigger the Hunter's Talent would be really nice. Just need a 4-power creature. Oh, that's not good. Starfall Invocation, I think, may have brought them back into this one. Need something good. Can block the Tree Guard duo. Keep the bunnies at bay. But it's just not quite good enough to trigger the Hunter's Talent. Glide Dive, Season, Sticky Tongue. Bushy Bodyguard would be nice. The Collector would be nice to keep the 1/1s at bay. Get a bunch of Scries. Got 21 in deck. I've got 14. That's not good. That's probably just lethal, right? I'd have to block the Tree Guard. They eat it. I block here. They pump. Yeah. Good recovery on their part. Off the Starfall. I will not be playing into that one again. Is there anything that makes me want more or less? Short Bow is value that just stays on board. Banishing Light. No, not really. Just got to play around a little bit. No longer am I going to extend my board. This is actually a great case study in playing around Wraths. This one and the Black Mythic are the only ones in the format, so you don't really have to play around them in Bloomburrow, but bit of a weird hand, but 2-drop, kill spell, castable. Yeah, gonna keep it. Definitely need to draw a 3rd land for this hand, but I don't know. It's fine. All right, buddy. The green shell's been making a lot of appearances. Got to give him that. Hopefully they play something with 2 toughness that I can just bite down with a talent. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Well, here's the thing. This actually makes their wrath a lot worse. If they're building out a board and then wrathing, then I have a bunch of cards in hand. Talent. Yeah. I mean, gonna need that their land sometime soon, but Beza. They gain life. They draw a card. And they make tokens. And it triggers the caretaker's talent. That's pretty good. Sack the food? I don't know. No. Interesting. I think we want to get the Corpseberry going. We don't need the Nocturnal Hunger quite yet. We're clearly going for the long game now. We can't just keep attacking with the Baker's Bane. We do kind of want those tokens out of there, though. Not going to lie. We do not want this thing to get going. There is a line where we just kill both tokens. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Not really a way for us to guarantee hitting a land next turn. Could just leave up Nocturnal Hunger. Spending 4, triggering this. Huh. Talent. This might be a game where talent gets to shine. They have so many cards in hand. We missed a land drop. We just got to get on board. The safest play. Use our mana the best. Don't love our position, but hey, if they're going to curve a mythic into rare, rare into mythic, whatever, then sometimes you will lose to such a draw. We do have to keep in mind about that wrath. Like right now, if wrath is in their hand, what do? They keep playing stuff out. Do they just let me try to deal with the Beza and the tokens? See, this is disgusting. They could double level up the talent here. And then these are both 3/3s. I think I actually might have done that this turn. If I were them, if they have something better in hand, that's kind of scary. But if they just go talent, copy a token, level up, brawl down my guy, yeah. They can still do that if they have a land. Do they play a land? Yeah. Draw a card. And now they're... not a land. This one's falling apart at the seams a little bit here. I think now I'm going to leave up the hunger. If they just go to class level 3, I think we do just die. Like, that'd be 9 power and toughness from all these little fish. Yikes. I'm not even sure a good hand from our deck was going to beat this. This is just an insane draw. Picking up the Mouse Trapper. There's a reason this thing has one of the best win rates in the set. Getting to just make 2 dudes and draw a card and then draw another card off the talent. Yeah. We would have needed a land last turn for me to feel like we had a shot. We could go talent into brawl, take out something. Take out a token even. Tree Guard duo. Hit the trapper, tap down my guy. No, pump a fish. Interesting. I mean, honestly, we kind of need to kill the fish anyway. The caretaker's talent is going to buff those dudes. Definitely gifting of food here. If they have Crumb and Get It here, I think the game just ends. They have the Crumb and Get It here, so the game just ends. Unfortunate. I'll see what I draw. But you know. Yeah. What? Oh, I gifted them a food, so they get to draw a card. All right. The hidden power of Caretaker's talent. I'm off this one. Man, beaten by Beza. Good card. And that's interesting that the Caretaker's talent will trigger anytime you're gifted a food or a token either. So I guess maybe... Would you play it in any white deck, not just rabbits? I don't know. Something to think about. All right, I think our deck can squeeze out a 2-1. We've got some really strong cards in here. This hand looks like whatever. Start the Uncharted Haven on black. Play the 3-tree. Maybe just kick the Bushy Bodyguard on turn 4. Just make a bunch of little dudes. Probably not going to get to forage off these guys by the time they come in. But we could draw Cash Grab, in which case I could delay it. 3-tree. We do need to draw something to do with all of our mana. A lot of lands here. Ramping on the play isn't quite as good when you're not ramping into a big, beefy thing. Bellowing Crier. We got a blue-black deck, looks like here. I like Crier and blue-black. Helps you start stocking your graveyard early. Pitching a Shore Up. Okay. That's pretty good. That makes me want to keep just kick the Bushy. Not foraging off either. Next turn, we get to Hive Spine. We could put a counter on one of these guys. Attack through the Crier, maybe. Do we even put a counter on these guys? They can attack through it right now. You know what? I don't really want to trade the counter from this to the Crier. Let me just see what happens if I double attack. They also passed the turn without playing anything, so they could have mana up for a kill or bounce spell or something. Yeah, see, like... If I put the counter on the Bodyguard, they would just trade for this one. Run away together. All right, I'm glad I waited on the Hive Spine. Now I run this out. Now I think I just put a counter on the 3-tree. Because the Bushy will still ultimately trade for the Crier. We want this counter to survive on the board as long as possible to get max value off the Hive Spine. Did they miss a land drop? What's happening over there? They're playing Bellowing Criers and pitching Shore Up and a Glide Dive duo. 3 cards in graveyard, so Threshold's still a good ways away. We have no food in sight, so the Corpse Berry is going to go hungry. Oh, Surveiling 2, huh? I didn't even notice they played Lily Pad Village. This one's pretty good. I like the ones that just need one other land. So you have to tap 2 lands after playing something that turn. Ooh, let's just do that. Hunter's Talent. Take that guy out. Slam a Corpse Berry. Attack for 1,000,000. Next turn, we could double level this up if we hit a land. Or single leveled up Brawl. Ooh, they thought stalked me. Yeah, like, that's fine still. We don't get the expend trigger off of activated abilities, so we're just gonna slam. What are they most likely to... I mean, I guess the only thing they have here is the Bushy. So we get in for an extra point of damage off the Bushy. It's pretty close to lethal, actually. Is there a reason to not play the Bramble Guard? I can't think of one. The Black Mythic board wipe, I think that costs 6, right? Same with the blue one. They all cost 6? Let me know in the comments. Do they all cost 6? I forget. I think the blue one does. The green one does. The green one's in my deck. I should know that. The white one does? All right. Didn't matter. Run it back. Jundin him out. I can never remember the name of this Sphinx. I know it's like Rafine, right? Is that Rafine? I know it was like a major player in Standard for years, but doesn't mean I'm going to remember its name. Of course, I have my beloved Helena and Elena here. my lovely German lesbians. What do we got? A Might Caller hand on turn 1. And 2 uncastables. But a way to pitch them. We haven't had any trouble casting our black spells yet. Well, all right. The deck is doing its best to test that theory. But oh, Dour Port Mage, great card. Oh, and I can't even Hunter's Talent it. Shame. Well, I get to go Barterer, and I can Hunter's Talent with the Barterer to kill the Port Mage. This card is really strong. It has to die. Attacking with it, I love it. You don't see that all the time. Thought Stalker, man. All right, so goodbye to the Byway Barterer. I mean, we knew they had the Thought Stalker. I'm not supposed to chump there, though. That's just a ridiculous play to make. Do they take the Barterer here? I'll give him a rage. They left me with the Barterer, giving me an out to no longer have to cast all these black spells. If I find a way to expend 4, maybe I just pitch this. But then again, like I said, I haven't had trouble casting black spells yet. I mean, we've got, what, 3 Swamps in deck, 2 copies of Uncharted Haven, and a Mana Dork? We're, like, pretty likely to draw a black source at any given time. If we lose this game because I didn't draw a black source, like, honestly, whatever. Yeah, like Moonrise Cleric, I don't care about that. Oh, we do have to watch out. They can pitch the Port Mage. They can... Oh, well. The perfectly wrong card to have right at this moment. So they can use Dour Port Mage to bounce the Thought Stalker back to hand and recast it. If they have a land this turn, that is. The Moonrise Cleric is guaranteed to hit because it's a flyer. So if they want to just shred my hand a little more, they can Moonrise, bounce, draw a card, Thought Stalker. That would be pretty nasty. And that looks like it's what they're doing. I got to give them a nice for this one. That's a pretty sick play. They get to take my Junkblade Bruiser, presumably. A land, and that would let me forage, or expend, rather. Oh. Sorry, opponent. Combo's over. We're back online. No cowards here. Now, I could have attacked with the Might Caller. They probably wouldn't have traded with the Warlock. But if they attack with the Warlock, I do want to be able to block it. Also, the Moonrise Cleric can't attack anymore. So they could just straight up bounce the Thought Stalker. Draw a card. They're going to make me pitch. I pitch the Saber because I need the Nocturnal Hunger to kill the Port Mage. Because I do have to break up this combo. They're just griefing me out of the game here. Pitch the Saber. And there is a reason to kill the Thought Stalker instead of the Dour Port Mage. But Dour Port Mage is just a really strong card as is. Oh, the green shell, huh? Nah. We still got to do it this way. Oh, they have Shore Up. Oh, wow. Now I wish I had played the green shell. That's pretty rough. Probably just lose now. They just do it again. Get my last card. This is like a Jund gameplay sequence. I'm getting out-Junded by a Jund as a Jund deck. Do I just not show them the... I think I'm just not going to show them the green shell. Like, that's just a ridiculous engine. Dour Port Mage, good card. So maybe I should have played the green shell last turn instead of going for the kill on the Dour Port Mage. I didn't even see that they had an island up, to be honest. We know they have Shore Up now. We knew they had it in the first game. They rummaged it away, so I wasn't thinking about it in action. We'll keep that in mind, that they have Runaway Together and Shore Up. Like, if I play the green shell, then what happens? I draw a card. Yeah. If they had a kill spell, they attack in the air. Yeah, I guess I should just play the green shell there. But if it was a land, I guess I could have declined to put it into play. And then I think it goes to hand. I forget if that's how the green shell is templated. Whatever. So the 2-1 is all coming down to this game. I like a nice nail biter finish. I think this deck has it has the juice. We can get there. Opponent's sideboarding some things in. Maybe maybe sideboarding out the shore up now that they know I have it. Or I know they have it. Hard opponent. You know, best of 3, getting the sideboard is a pretty big boon. I didn't really have anything that I felt like siding in there, but it does make you evaluate your draft picks better, and I think it makes for better practice for RCQ top 8 drafting and top 8 drafting at higher levels, which is what I'd like to do at some point. All right. Let's get a good hand. Let's get a Might Caller hand. No, but a pretty solid hand anyway. Saver's a little awkward, but the duo, I love this card. This can attack through basically anything. Oh, and a Hunter's Talent. Very nice. Definitely not running it out right now. Gonna need some lands at some point, yes. But what have you got, opponent? Bellowing Crier? Kitsa. Yeesh. That's a good card. So here we're gonna run out the duo. Probably gonna Hunter's Talent the Kitsa down. Just tap out for something here, please. Now, if they have the Thought Stalker, they can only take one of my 2 kill spells that deal with Kitsa. So I'm just gonna let them hit here. They know that, yeah, wow, they had the Thought Stalker. Great hand. A handful of kill spells. Honestly, no matter what they take, I still get to kill both of these creatures. That's pretty nuts. Like, what do you even take here? Get to grief me. Yeah, that is probably the better of them. Oh, that's kind of cool. So, is there a way I can get that into play this turn too? It would involve Longstalk Brawl. No, not really. It would depend if they want to trade the Kitsa off for the duo just flat out. And they might not. Or the Warlock for the duo. I think it's worth giving it a shot. I do not want to give them a fish, really. I'm going to have this. Fight the Kitsa. Make them loot now. They loot now. If I had drawn a land this turn, this would be such an easy sequence. Because then I'd get to pump the Roughshod duo. It becomes simple. Whether I take out the trash now or after they've decided to block doesn't really matter. So I'm going to attack here, because this thing has trample. I'm going to attack here. If they block, then I take out the trash, the Warlock. It's all moot. Oh, Audible Antics? Sure. Yeah, I'm going to offer them this trade. They did not take it. That's what I wanted. Now I get to Flame Cash in to take out the trash. And then I'm obviously going to pitch the Saver here. Oh, I could just cast the Saver. It floats me black mana. Oh, that's a lot better. Now we Saver. They know my entire hand. They know my gameplay. But this way I'm left with to take out the trash. Funny enough, if I draw a land, like, what do I do with it? Do I rummage it? Do I pitch it to take out the trash? Oh, Port Mage. Ugh. What a card. I mean, here we just swing, I think. And if they want to try to use, like, yeah, it's fine. I think they probably have the shore up. So I'm just going to pass. I can take out the trash on their turn. Well, they pass kind of quickly. Maybe they don't have it. I wonder if they have multiple of these Thought Stalker. They've been pretty reliable in hitting this thing. This is a good deck. Port Mage, Kitsa, Thought Stalker. Good blue and black cards. All very above the average quality for blue-black. Otterball, I like this card, theoretically. The win rate numbers don't really support it. This is other, so it won't get the trigger off of itself. Do they even activate it? Yeah, they're not going to pitch. So what do I do now? Tower Port Mage can start flickering this and doing all sorts of nonsense, but this is just a big, beefy creature. I think the Port Mage still has to die, and it's getting to the point where I want to bury the Bruiser. Just put it away. Oh, but it's so big. But I'm not casting it for at least 2 turns. Yeah, it's not doing enough. Oh, but if I hit anything that the Might Caller gets buffed by, I can attack. Port Mage isn't doing much for them right now. And the duo trades with the Roughshod. I think I'm going to kill the duo. I'm not totally certain about this play. Cash grab. Interesting. Cash grab and Corpseberry. Mana's a little awkward here. Let's... green shell. I can't take the green shell to hand here. That just doesn't do anything. Just really awkward mana working out here. And getting an extra mountain barely does anything for us either. Like, what does that really accomplish? We're so likely to draw lands. And the rest of our deck doesn't really do a lot. We could draw the Season, but we need a green source for that. Do I just take the green shell here? That's so awkward. Collector I could at least cast next turn. Ugh. Do not like this. If I take the mountain, I can use the gecko to rummage. That might be the play. I think it is. Man, not happy about that. But it is what it is. Yep. The gecko is going to shine here. We're going to get to rummage some stuff, and hopefully they can't pop off with a Port Mage. Passing? Okay. Now, the Corpseberry does just get big, but like drawing a forest here, do we really even want that? But if we draw forest, then that's bad. We could do this on the next turn too. Let's just draw. All right, well. Pitch the Hunger. Forest? Okay, at least we can cast this guy. Grows the Might Caller. It'll grow itself during combat. What do they have here? They didn't cast Otterball Antics. We have no way to return from the graveyard, so it doesn't really matter what I exile. I just don't think we attack here. I'm very suspicious of whatever they're doing. What could they have? Kill spell? Oh, draw 3. They're going to tap my Corpseberry, draw 3 cards, give me a fish? No. 5 mana exile. So still taking care of a card. Interesting that they decided to exile the Gecko. That's a pretty good one to bounce. Oh my god, that's bad. Alright, well. In we swing. We're happy trading off the Roughshod for the Glide Dive. Yeah. Fine by me. And I guess we're sort of just hoping to draw Season. The Season here would probably just win us the game. Maybe we try to draw cards with it. Yeah. Season of, what is it? Growth? Gathering. All right. Season of Magic the Gathering. Get in here. Why aren't they casting Otterball Antics? They have something else. Another exile spell, maybe? Some kind of flash creature. Eddy Merc Crab. Flash creature. Called it just in time. They tap these guys down. Yep. I'm just going to pass. We're so close. So close. Surveilling off the grotto. They do have threshold if that ends up mattering. If they cast Audible Antics, they're off threshold. Maybe that's... Ooh. Okay. That is certainly a calamity for us. Maybe I'll draw something else. Get to rebuy the Might Caller. Start buffing this thing up. Here, not going to crack the food. Need ways to forage. And right now, that's actually the only way we have. Got a counter on that guy. Dowerport Mage picking up the Eddy Merc Crab. I guess that can just tap stuff down forever and keep flashing it in. But how cheap is this? I guess that's why they wanted the Otterball Antics in their graveyard. They have 1, 2, 3 instants or sorceries in their graveyard. Can't block that. A kill spell and we just lose the game. And honestly, they could just pick it back up anyway. Maybe the best thing that could happen here is they tap out and then we draw the Season of Gathering. I have a feeling they're not going to tap out for like the rest of the game, though. Man, what has been with our lands this game? It's real rough. Can't forage. So here, do they pick up the crab? They're thinking about it, I think. That'd be nice, because that means they couldn't attack next turn. Picking up the crab. Yeah, Dowerport Mage, real strong card. Yeah, they get to attack. Oh my god. That's rough. They get to flash in the crab. Yeah, they got this one. Man, rough finish for a pretty sick deck. Can't win them all, right?